council member in and for the city of Dexter, county of Washtenaw, and state of Michigan, according to the best of my ability.
I will.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Very much.
Welcome to the city council.
Thank you, folks. Chance to vote.
Okay, I believe you have a packet and agenda right there.
I do.
Thank you for having that ready. We do not have any public hearings this evening. So we're down to page 2 of the agenda under communications. We have our upcoming meeting list. Anybody have any comments on the upcoming meeting list? Seeing none, I'll keep moving. Stop me if I'm going too fast. First report tonight is from our finance director, treasurer, assessor. Marie, how are you?
How are you today? Was that okay? I moved over the weekend. Oh, welcome to our new member. And I do want to say, I'm retiring on June 30th, so I will not be here this fall. But there's something important that I do need to say.
Okay.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Oh,
I couldn't resist. I'm a Navy vet.
Good thing you're leaving.
You have in front of you my quarterly report. I really don't have a whole lot of things to add, but I would like to say one thing because of the time of the year, and I'd like to have this put officially in the minutes. Tom Welsh, our assessing assistant, is a phenomenal employee for the city. There is no way I could be as successful as an assessor as I have been without him. And so I'd appreciate kind of a public shout out to him because he's a gem. This is really in a bad position. I can't see the mayor.
It's on purpose.
There we go. There we go. That's better.
There you go.
So anyway, I don't really have anything to add to my report. Does anyone have any questions?
So I think I read in there that you visited all the properties.
Yes,
They're
they have
finished?
all been visited now.
I assume Tom helped with that.
He did most of them.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Nice. Do you
Yeah.
have any concerns about the budget, where we're at? Anything you expect?
Not really. I mean, we have some small amendments that need to be made. I don't see anything major, except of course our
Or what?
fire station.
What?
I have a question. I'm sorry, Marie, if this is in your report, but was there a general decrease in assessments this year of properties?
No.
So that was just my house. Which I'm fine with.
Oh, you mean for the 2024 tax? roll?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so, and this is gonna happen also in the 2025. The old village, we call it,
Mhm.
we split that up into 2 sections. And there were. So homes are supposed to be depreciated every year
Mhm.
unless there's something major that brings them,
Which
way
I have not
younger.
done.
And the township did not do that, like ever. So a couple of things happened. Some properties went up because we also redid all the land values because they had done them by site value. So you could have a little tiny lot that would have the same value as a big lot. And there was really no rhyme or reason. So last year, Tom went through and we recalculated everything by front foot. So that affected a lot. And then also the depreciation.
Okay.
affected.
I mean, it wasn't a big shift. It was just the first time in all the years that I've owned that
Yeah.
home that I saw it go down.
Yeah.
So I was just.
Don't worry, it'll go
curious.
up again.
Okay. Great,
Well, at least it's not your taxable value.
fair.
Justin, anything you're concerned with on the budget?
I mean, just we'll be talking about it during goals and objectives, but how we deal with the cost of public safety services year to year in general, and then the cost for the fire station.
And the former has been ongoing.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of good information here. Appreciate it.
Let me ask a question.
Oh, please, Greg, go ahead.
910 under total revenue, long-term debt. It says we, some principal payments were made on the bonds. But I see the expenditure is, what do we have, like 72% for halfway through? Is that so we can premeditate?
Some of the bonds have principal payments twice a year.
Okay.
And most of them have it once a year, but those that have it twice a year will cause that to bump higher.
Okay, so we're okay at 72, even though it's halfway.
Yeah.
And I just let required accounting entries go, because
Yeah, so that
I'm
is,
sure it's state stuff or something.
yeah, that's accrued vacation and sick time, and that fluctuates all over the place.
Yeah, I
Like
see it
for-
in a couple places.
Yeah, and a lot of times I don't report that. I don't know, I guess I felt like reporting it this time. You'll see it at the end of the year. But one of the things that did happen is when we had an employee that transferred from the water and sewer department back to the DPW, who had a lot of accrued vacation and sick time,
Right,
that was a expense for the general fund. And it's one of those expenses that you never see. We're not really spending money on it, but we have to set it aside because we could. That person left.
so I had one other question, but I can't remember because of them. Oh, how, do you keep track of our? They used to be called unfunded liabilities with the retirement package.
Having the pension.
Yeah, is that all in here somewhere? Am I missing
It's
it?
not in this report,
Okay.
no. Those actuarials are done once, well, the pension's done once a year and it's done as of December 31st. So that was reported in the audit.
I
and
saw
then-
it somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, so,
91% now for the fiscal year that we're in.
Well, it changes every year
Right.
because we can't nail down a
Mhm.
number.
yeah, so usually the DB, the defined benefit pension program, is reported on in July. And so we see it in July for the prior calendar year.
Right,
So we saw the last report in July of 24, which was for calendar year end December 31, 2023. And we were 91% funded. We'll see another report here coming up in July of this year for calendar year end 24.
and how's that gonna fit into our time frame of our budget workshops and stuff?
We have a pretty good sense on what the required contributions are for the DB. For the OPEB, for the retiree healthcare. City council last year set a policy of if we're over 120% funded, then we won't contribute anything.
Right,
And as of our last OPEB, we were over 120% funded. And we'll see another biannual report on that in the next couple months.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully very soon.
Yeah.
I need to reach back out to him because,
Mm-hmm.
he's working with somebody else, but I need to get back with him.
okay, I'm gonna need some kind of guidance when we're running through all our.
Yeah, so Ray, MERS gives us in the annual value or in the annual report,
Right,
because it's a closed,
System.
closed group.
right,
They know, they pretty much map out for us, this is gonna be this year and this year and this year. And then we also have been using, excuse me. In addition to moving off, I had a cold, that was fun. We also have it's like a surplus
right,
kind of account that we've been putting money in
All right.
over the years. And we are getting to a point, we talked about it last year and decided not to do it, where we can start factoring that in. So when they're doing, like, when they say we're 91% funded, they're not factoring in that surplus.
right.
I think the 91% does factor in the,
I thought it didn't.
I think it does.
So why don't we,
Well, it can come back.
why
We
don't
can-
we
we'll-
bring
we'll-
the
we'll
summary,
talk.
why don't we bring the summary pages of both and put that in the work session package?
Mm-hmm.
Then we can be good for Pablo to see it as well. And Ray, then you'll have the current information.
Yeah, I mean, it's all,
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
yeah, it's ballpark, we're throwing darts at in the dart almost.
And plus, there's only 4 of us left. In the DB,
Oh, really?
soon to be 3.
Oh, don't say it like that. Hurry up.
We've done very well on both of those.
Yeah, that's always been
We've
that's
done-
been a 20-year sticking point.
It has.
Mhm.
It has. Well, thanks for your good report. Appreciate it. Up next is a report from our Public Services Superintendent. I think Tim is online. Tim, how are you?
All right, then you should be able to unmute.
All right, how about now?
Yeah.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Excellent. How is everybody tonight?
very good, Tim.
So you got the 2-week report in front of you. I can take any questions you guys have. I have a few things afterwards as usual. But yeah, if anybody wants any questions.
Ray?
How many people have a CDLA now?
Total of 3.
Okay.
Joe?
I just wanted to say, I drove home Saturday night from Canton. The roads were crap all the way until I got into the city. of
City
Dexter.
limits.
So I appreciate the fact that you guys were out, 5, 6 o'clock on Saturday night, and got some salt down. It was, appreciated.
Thank you.
I also appreciate that, and I have a question. Tim, can you tell us how the water main meeting went with the Pelham developer and Eagle?
Yeah, so they had some concerns with some VOCs that it would be potential contamination for the crossing. So they went, instead of, we originally wanted to go with a pipe, but there's a plastic pipe, HDPE. Because of what a VOC could do, potentially, they wanted us to go with the ductile. So there was just, they wanted some more clarification. We wanted some more clarification why they were going that direction. The meeting went really well. Everybody's good to go and on board. And in fact, we had another meeting with the Pelham project people last week about where, the water main placement and everything was going to go, and then the tie in and how we were going to do that. So, but that's all it was. It's just clarification from them.
Okay, so it was overall good and everything's moving forward still with open discussion.
Everything's good to go right now.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions for Tim? Tim, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, thanks. Just a couple things. We did get started tree trimming last week up on Dexter Crossings. This week's snows might push us back a little bit, but that's not going to be an ongoing thing. We took a second interview with our second our application, and we went through the drive-through today. Everything went good. We did choose and made an offer. He has accepted according to Josh, so everything sounds good with that. Very happy with that. Hopefully we'll get that person on board around sometime in March, beginning of March. And they have been getting ready for the snow for Wednesday. And that's about it.
Keep up the good work. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll let everybody know. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thanks for passing that along.
Yep.
Next up is our community development manager. Michelle, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How is council this evening?
Excellent. I'm excellent.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome, Councilman Popoff.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm very glad to have you. Thank you very much for your service. You've got my report in front of you. I've given you updates on the Kentwood Place planned unit development. That recommendation from the Planning Commission will be coming to you. Could be as soon as your second meeting, but I think it's probably going to be more your first meeting of March, and you'll set the public hearing, which means you then consider it the first meeting in April. The master plan housing readiness amendment, 2 components, the housing and community character survey that has been mailed out, 2,000 random samples. Any one of you may have gotten one. So the due date was last week, and anybody who didn't respond to the first round will be getting a subsequent survey and reminder. Everything is going well so far, and Cobalt is quite pleased with the responses that they had already gotten.
They give you a percentage? I'm sorry.
One second. I think in here I wrote. They've gotten 220. By the first few days that it was out. because it was an electronic survey you could do, or you could mail it in. And if my recollection is correct, there were 220 responses.
Was that a little over 10%, 11?
Go ahead, Wa.
I just have a little feedback on that. I am someone who randomly got one of those and I opened it today. Only to find out I was too late.
You're not too late.
No, I see that now. My feedback is that I don't know if it would cost us less to print on the envelope feedback due by X date than it would to resend it to a bunch of people. Because I would have done it today if I had known in there that there was like a second, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need another one and I'll take mine out of the recycle bin that I just put it in.
Mhm.
But I just feel like it would have been more cost effective if that could have been on the envelope itself.
It was on
Because
the
people,
cover letter.
yeah, but people don't open their mail.
I,
They don't. I mean, I saw it and I knew I wanted to do it and I took until today to pull it out of my mailbox and actually open it.
all right, it's a suggestion that I can make to Mr. Saint,
That's all I'm asking.
Moore.
That's all I'm asking. And then I just, I like to look at things from how can we do this cheaper? And I don't think based on the 220 person response that I'm alone in that. So
Okay.
for what it's worth,
All right.
I will do it. I'm excited that I can still do it. I really am. Cause I
Yes,
was
you can
really
still do it.
disappointed when I threw it in the recycle bin today.
And the good news for anybody feeling left out is you don't have to feel left out, because there will be a link for anybody to be able to take the survey. The results of such will be separated and analyzed, and ultimately determine where the, excuse me, where were the consistencies, where are the differences, and how to incorporate those into our master plan update. Excuse me. The other thing dealing with the master plan update is the Second Street Corridor walking tour. That is scheduled for February 22nd. It's an afternoon event. And I say event because we're trying to make it exciting and fun for people. In the middle of the winter, we really have no choice because it's cold and people don't want to come out. But we think it will be a lively tour, and will provide people with the opportunity to engage. For this one, excuse me, we're not just targeting people who actually have property that fronts only on Second Street. We're also taking a broader approach to letting people know, besides on email and online, in the paper, information and kiosks. If I'm not mistaken, it was everyone within 300 feet of 32nd Street got postcards inviting them. So we're hopeful that it really will bring people out and be interested in how the future of the Second Street corridor can be more of a neighborhood. So any questions on that? Okay, I hope if you're available, you have the chance to participate. 3045 Broad Street Subcommittee, they're going to meet again this week with City Attorney to talk about the interest that Trowbridge Companies has indicated for the 3045 Broad Street redevelopment properties. I anticipate that the DDA will go into another closed session because there will be a attorney-client confidentiality correspondence to discuss, and after that, or I believe there'll be more that I can provide. And if not me, I know the mayor will be able to have that. The text amendments that the Planning Commission looked at on February 3rd will be coming to you on February 24th. They do include the two that the council did initiate. There's still some heartburn on the part of the Planning Commission. Councilmember Alday, I'm sure could provide additional commentary or answer questions if people had them. I believe that a couple of the members may come to the meeting and just talk with you. And then again, they may not, and they'll just do privately, but that's where we're at with that. Capital improvement plan was rolled out in its draft form. It's in substantially better shape than it was for last year. And that is primarily attributed to our new associate planner, Jenna. She's been doing a great job working with the ClearGov platform and some of the new software that they've rolled out. So I think you're going to like it. Yes, it's a lot of pages, but it really has that more professional feel, professionalness to the document that we've been used to in the past. So
Good.
and I know I'm being a little more detailed in my stuff, but that's because we have a new person. Just want to make sure he's up to date. In regard, that's everything in my report. Do you have any questions on that? And then I'll have one verbal update for you. Okay. Regarding the Pelham, their development agreement was recorded a couple of weeks ago, which means the PUD zoning of the property is now in effect. The notice was published properly, and the map is going to be updated by Carlisle Wortman. We are just waiting for the master deed and bylaws to be also recorded. They're having some heartburn every time they take it, and we think it's got everything it needs to in the format it needs to. The Register of Deeds says, oh, no, you need this here, and oh, you need this there. So hopefully this time will be the charm. And once that's done, we'll get property identification numbers and addresses, and then they'll start applying for their zoning compliance in order to get to the building department and start construction.
Great.
All right.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thanks for your good work.
Thank you.
And we are moving down to J6, city manager report. Dustin?
Sure. So, like Tim mentioned, we did make an offer to Scott Tap House for a DPW worker. So that'll bring us back up to 6. He's looking to start at the beginning of March. We haven't set a date yet, but that'll be coming soon. We did also make an offer and have that offer accepted for a new administrative assistant. That is Jessica Johnston. She started on the 3rd, so she's been with us for this will be her 2nd week, and she's been doing a good job so far. I have started working on the draft budget and putting together material for our work session on Saturday for our goals and objectives work session. So if anybody has anything that they'd like to see as a part of that packet, just let me know by Wednesday. I will be looking to get the packet out on Wednesday. And I'd already planned for that to include the OPEB and DB information array. So that'll be ready for you. The solicitation opt-out registry has been selling like hotcakes. I think within the first 24 hours, we had 200 people. So there was definitely a pent-up interest in that.
Maybe we should have charged for it.
Leave me alone.
Make it
Yeah, go ahead. That's right.
a comment on that. So we know that not everybody goes through the process of asking for, having a permit, and a lot of it I have seen personally in Dexter Crossing over the summer, which, I do ask for to see their payment and or permit and such. But we did have an incident in Dexter Crossing right before that came out in the evening that we had homes were visited, and this was late in the evening in the dark by people that identified themselves as 2 different companies, and neither of them would be there at that time anyways. So, putting out, like, people can call sheriff's office if they feel that somebody doesn't have a permit, if they feel unsafe, which happened to be the case in Dexter Crossing, and I believe there were residents that contacted the sheriff's department, but I want to put that out and, you know, out loud. I know we have say it and we have put it in messages, so thank you on that, but that you can call sheriff's office if you encounter somebody who doesn't have a permit. And also if you feel unsafe.
Always.
We absolutely encourage that.
Wow.
Ms. Donham, just to follow up on that, that is the non-emergency sheriff's office line. Correct? Does anyone know that offhand? I mean, I know, no, never mind. No one's listening to this. I just like to, I struggle to find it sometimes, so I try to get it out there as much as I can because
I believe it's 734-944
What is it?
something 911.
that makes sense.
Dexter
I
Crossing.
can't remember the fourth to last number, but
Okay.
I know,
Never mind. I mean, it's not like I'm
I know it
using,
ends
obviously,
911.
I'm not using it all the time. I just,
Right.
I wanted to,
thank you. Two.
I wanted to add
Good
some stuff
job.
on a consent agenda before it comes up, so I don't pull it off this agenda.
Sure.
Let's talk about these, decorative light poles. So we're getting one replacement, we're getting another backup.
So we'll
Is that
say,
correct?
we're just straight up replacing two.
Well,
Well, one was hit,
right,
and then there are some other ones that are rotting through that we want to replace anyway.
so is this something that someone DPW is developing a program for, so we can rotate them out
Yep, so,
and
talk-
include it in our CIP or something?
I talked with Tim and talked with, Robin Todd from the DPW, and they want to start replacing two a year.
What account did this money come out of? Did it come out of streets or just
It-
general fund?
It would come out of streets.
All right. Now let me ask about this, F on page 67. So this is dated way back to 23. So staff would bring back a draft of the ordinance, it's public hearing in August, September, but OHM recently provided a set of other items that should be considered addressed via the ordinances. Are these something that are state or something with our own ordinance?
Oh, for the water sewer ordinance?
Yes, and has
Yeah.
it been addressed?
Yeah, so, to try and bring you up to speed, before she left, Courtney had submitted, drafts of the water, of more recent water and sewer ordinances to
Yeah, a long
Eagle.
time ago, right?
Yeah. And, they didn't get back to us, we sent them again, they didn't get back to us.
When did we send them the section?
We followed up repeatedly from 2019 through 2021.
Okay.
And so at that point, there was a gap where we focused on other things. So
Right.
in getting back to it, I wanted to take another full look at them.
Okay.
And so met with the DPW, met with water sewer, sent out drafts to the city attorney, to OHM, to F&V, have everybody take a look at it, and everybody had comments, even on the versions that had been submitted to Eagle. And so it's been a process of bringing all those comments back together into one document. And so that's on my to-do list to.
What's your, you got a deadline date for what to amass all that and present?
I'd like to.
Or is it ongoing?
No, I would like to get it wrapped up in the next couple months.
Okay. Once again, I want to see, something I need to see for, how it's gonna affect the sewer and water. And, I just want to keep that in mind when I'm looking at the budget.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
I would have said something,
there-
it said 23.
there shouldn't be significant impacts to the budget for that. But I mean, what we have put together are pretty substantial amendments to the water and sewer ordinance.
I guess I was most disturbed by after OHM recently provided a set of other items. Said,
Hmm.
can I go in again and find other items again? Or were these items that were just missed or something changed in the law?
I think it's, I can't remember offhand exactly what the items were. It was a lot of detaily stuff. But without having them in front of me,
I mean, it just wasn't
It's hard
included.
to-
You- They thought, all right, if you don't have it, I understand. I'm just assuming it's something that's gonna better define our point.
yeah.
All right, thanks.
Other questions for Justin? Joe?
On the organizational matters before the next week, we're gonna do the rules also, we're gonna do it before the meeting.
Just the organizational matters.
Well, we do need to do the rules within 60 days.
Oh, okay, we're doing both then. That's what, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
You're supposed to do the review the rules after every change.
yeah, whenever someone new joins council or after each election.
Justin, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just, I'm gonna go back to the decorative light poles. So
Yeah.
one of them got hit, right? But we're still paying for it though?
So.
Or is the insurance money coming in and is accounted in the 6,000?
Yeah, so the insurance will cover half the 6,000. And then insurance will go after the insurance company for the person who hit the pole.
Okay, so the actual bill is going to be 3.5, 3.4.
So the kind of getting into government finance a little bit. The full bill will be the 6,800, but then we'll have an offsetting revenue from insurance that'll be for 3,400.
Understood. Thank you.
Good question.
Hmm.
Anything else?
Not unless there's questions.
Okay, so I'll just transition into my report, but I want to stay on the workshop a little bit. Page 71 of the packet. Sorry, yeah, 71 and 72. There's a lot here. There's a lot of topics there. We do not have to go in any specific order. I put this together with Justin's help. I think that I wanted Justin to talk a little bit about the succession planning because, you know, the staff are the backbone of what we do here. And I think that would be a good introduction, although for you to understand how we're set up, how many people we have, where they are, and what we've been working on. But this workshop is, you know, it's your workshop. If you want to start on page 2 of this and work our way backwards, we can go in any direction. But if there's something you really want to know information about, please let Justin know so he can be prepared to have the information in the packet if there's something you specifically want. Otherwise, he probably won't have all of this in one packet. He's going to have a snapshot, right, of some things. And then we can go from there. Now, we do have a second workshop coming up in March. So, you know, it's a continuation of all the discussions, but if there's something you're interested in, just give him a heads up tomorrow or Wednesday so that when he has time to get the information together for us. Make sense?
What is it, this Friday?
It's Saturday at 9.
Oh, Saturday?
Yep, it'll be right in this room.
Oh.
We try to get out, we try to go till noon or go as long as we
Go
want.
to Cornerstone. Didn't you always do that?
One time we might have done it in another spot, but we're gonna do it right here.
Are you bringing donuts?
No, I don't work here.
Just checking.
We might be able to come up with a snack. Does anybody have any questions for me? I spent most of my meeting time getting to know the candidates that applied and enjoyed that. Seeing none, okay, I'll keep moving. Any comments under council member report? Okay, we have 2 items on the consent agenda. The bills and payroll is one standing item. And then the light bulbs topic that Ray mentioned. And consent agenda items just follow are considered together with no discussion. So if once somebody makes a motion and a second, we make an immediate vote on those, meant to speed up more routine items as they come through. But you're always encouraged, if you do have a question, to either ask it under the city manager report, or you can pull it off the agenda. I realize you didn't have a chance to do that.
Okay.
I sort of whisper briefed that.
Gotcha, great,
Damn.
great.
I got whispers.
Good, whispers, okay. Great, is there someone that would like to move?
As usual, I will move the two items on the consent agenda. Both consideration items, bills and payroll in the amount of $728,950.42. And purchase, number two, purchase of two decorative light poles from McNaughton McKay for an amount not to exceed $6,813.
Motion by Hubbard, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Semmifero, thank you, Joe. Please call the vote when you're ready.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes,
did I get that right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Semi-Pharaoh,
Yes.
Aldag? Yes. Tell,
Yes.
Keel.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Your first vote recorded.
Nice work.
Good budget vote. I love it.
Okay, we have no
Those
unfinished
paychecks.
business and we moved new business item M1 up, so we're down to two remaining new business items. M2 is consideration of a request from MMB Equities to extend the completion of the Grandview Commons. Joe?
Move the motion based upon the findings that the developer has made and continues to make substantial progress toward completing all three phases of the Grandview Commons development. City Council moves to approve the First Amendment to the Plan Unit Development Agreement, City of Dexter and MMB Equities LLC to allow all three phases of the Grandview Commons development to be completed within 10 years from the date the original agreement was executed.
Motion by Semmifero, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll support that.
Second by Tell, thank you, Ray. Questions?
How many phases are there? Three?
There's three phases. Phase one is completed. Phase two is nearly all completed, but one building. And phase three is nearly all completed, but one building.
And how does this benefit Mr. Brower? Just by having them do it all at once,
So
or?
this is what's the interesting thing. The PUD agreement indicates or states that
Right,
will be done in the 7 years. There isn't any language that says what happens if it's not. It's not like the agreement ends or the development has to stop.
or we
But
have
it
to
is-
bond, or?
Right, but it's a technicality that makes the developer uncomfortable. And so it makes sense to extend it. There are still some things that he needs to complete beyond just the construction. He's made requests for the acceptance, we've talked about that, of the public improvements, water, sewer, storm, sidewalks that are
Right.
along Baker and Grant.
Grant.
And we've had a really good discussion with him regarding the pathway easement. So I'm expecting that we're going to be getting that documentation and moving forward for it to be completed as well.
How far are they in phase three?
They have just one more building to do
And phase three?
in phase
also?
three and in phase two, one of each.
So if you're standing in the middle of Grand Street.
Yeah.
Okay, you're standing in the middle of Grand Street, and you're looking at the property that used to be the old. Pilot warehouse, right? Phase three is essentially everything on the far right.
Okay, up
From-
against
from
the
from the-
cemetery house, kinda.
Well, yeah,
Well, it's not
well, the
there.
two houses that are
Yeah.
next to the cemetery, but it's everything that comes out. And phase two comes out like in the middle, and phase one was everything
On
north
front,
Baker and in the back. Okay, so what he's got is two brownstones.
right,
They're 4 units each that are along Grand Street. He's built 3 of them that were all in phase one,
right,
or part of phase one, I think, maybe. Anyway, of the 12 units that he's built in the 3 buildings, there's still 4 vacancies. He's having trouble moving that housing style as quickly as the other multifamily units. There's not as much demand, in other words, for those. So because there hasn't been as much demand and he still has 4 units open, he hasn't, taken on the speculative, is that the word we'd say?
Right.
Approach of just building the other two out.
Right.
Because it costs him money to do that, right? So when he gets interest, if he gets interest, he'll bring, those forward one at a time. You asked what, how does it benefit him? I think it's always good if we're operating under a current agreement, regardless of
Correct.
the reasons. I mean, this is sort of market driven that he didn't finish those other two buildings. This is how I view it. And he was very cooperative at the last meeting when we discussed how to accept the public infrastructure. The reality is that if you can't get enough interest in those brownstone type homes, he may need to rework the product a little bit.
Well, say he's gonna have to resubmit something
Yeah,
different. I would
they may
assume.
end up being built a little similar to what's there, but
Right.
instead of being. Like those are 3-story up and down, and there's a lot of stairs.
Right.
And rumor has it that maybe stairs aren't as popular. For everybody that wants that.
Well, I hate 'em.
down. There you go. So, but I think that's. That's the benefit. The benefit is the agreement. Nobody can say the agreement's expired. I guess technically if we were really,
Have an expiration.
it doesn't have an expiration.
It just says within 7 years,
Correct.
with an approximate February
It just
something.
depends.
So, are we gonna require a performance bond or is that needed?
That's June or July.
That's June or July for the infrastructure that,
Yeah, that's not part of this. That's not part of this. He will formally come before us. He has some of the infrastructure has to have a little bit of cement work done on the inside of it.
Mm,
So once he gets all that done and once he drafts the formal easement language for the pathway, I think we're anticipating June or July, the council would see that, right?
yeah,
Something like that.
The city attorney will draft the language for the easement. And we'll just need the legal description and survey from him. So we're making it, we're working with him to make it as easy as possible.
Wow.
Can I just ask for a little clarification? You said at the last meeting with him, something along the lines of that he was, something, his support or acceptance of the public infrastructure. You mean that meeting that was in your report?
Yes.
Okay, can you expand on that and also speak to if there was anything in that meeting that talked about that connector? I know I am like a dog with a bone with that, but I just, this is making me even more so, just because I am sympathetic to the idea of the pivot that he may need to make, because I want housing that fits our community. However, that connector is just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there.
The connector path will be open this year. Once he gets the last multifamily building out, there will be concrete that comes out 2/3 of the way to the Grandview, and he's offered to put in a wood chip path
Okay,
for the remaining part, so that
Okay.
people can use it to get to it. So that
Okay.
we can open that up.
no, I like that show of good faith, and that for me, it's like, I don't want to get in the middle of his business plan. It's not my business. It's not my private property. It's just that particular aspect I just would like to see, as we know.
Yep.
So I appreciate that from him. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
one final question.
Yeah, right.
Will we accept it, his infrastructure without properties being built on it? Can we just accept infrastructure, the sewer, the sidewalk,
Ray, I think we need to.
okay,
It's similar to like Westridge. If the same thing, if we applied the same logic to Westridge, they're just building the last home now. It would have been 20 years that we wouldn't have accepted this, the infrastructure, yet we're charging water and sewer to all those people.
Right.
Through those pipes and through those things. So
yeah, I mean, I just
think-
wanna,
I think it makes total sense to accept it.
yeah, I mean, he is gonna put it in, right?
It's all in.
It is all. in.
It's all in. Everything that's underground is in.
Mhm.
Even the stubs of the sewer leads up under the
Right.
future building footprints are there,
Okay,
so.
yeah, I didn't
and-
realize how
and-
far he
and
went.
He'll be bringing a 2-year maintenance and guarantee bond. As part of that
Mhm.
package that we approve on whatever it is, June or July. Or if it's ready sooner, but he wants the clock to get started and But
Sure.
our lawyers need to go through we gotta get the easement right.
I'm sorry.
We gotta get the easement right, so. Okay, any other questions on the motion to extend the completion timeline of the Grandview Commons project? Seeing none, please call the vote.
Holden? Yes. Semi Pharaoh,
Yes.
Tell,
Yeah.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Popo,
Yes.
Yo.
Yes. Motion carries, thank you. New business item M3 is consideration of designating a new person as acting city manager when Justin is not able to fulfill those duties. Is there a motion, Joe?
In accordance with Charter Section 7.03 section. Move that the council consent and approve to designate Josh Peggy as the person to act in the city manager's absence.
I second.
Motion by Semifarrow, second by Hubbard. Thank you both. Dustin?
Sure. So currently the designated acting city manager is Marie Sherry, who was so designated in 2015. So it's been a little bit. But with Marie's pending retirement in June, we wanted to get a jump start and get this transitioned over to somebody else. I think it makes sense that it'd be Josh. The plan is to as we do this, also remove the "to the" from his title and make him assistant city manager.
Nice. Wow.
I just want to state publicly, as I have before, Josh has done a great job for the city. I have interacted with him in many capacities, not just at this table. He continues to impress me. I think he's a good choice for this, and I am all for removing "to the" from his title. I appreciate the work that you do for the city, and I hope it continues. I know it will, as long as you're here.
And Josh just celebrated his third year in the city.
Very nice.
Time flies.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
I remember 9 years ago, when we were giving her the acting title. Talk about time flying.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Okay, I think everybody understands. I'm gonna call the vote.
Semi Pharaoh,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Popo,
Yes.
Tell,
Yeah.
Holden? Yes. Yo.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Just because you have the key to the city, be careful with it.
Maybe.
We are down to non-arranged participation. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to speak? I see Michael's online. Michael, thank you for waiting. I may have missed you last time. I was informed I missed a hand. So sorry about that.
Oh, not a problem. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. So I just wanted to start off by saying congratulations to Councilman Popoff on your appointment. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to thank council members Aldag and Semifarrow, as well as you, Mayor Keough, for the chance to speak with each of you either in person, by phone, or via email regarding my interest in the city council. And if the opportunity arises in the future, I would still be interested in working together with the council in some capacity. And
Awesome. Thank you so much for being gracious and for attending the meeting, Michael. Is there anyone else who would like to speak under non-arranged? Okay, we will move down to item O, which is council comments. This is an opportunity for people, for council to state anything that's on their mind, and Olivia, I'll let you lead off.
I just want to say like congratulations to both of you guys.
Thank you. Joe?
Welcome to council. And no other comments.
So now,
Welcome to council.
Ray?
Nah.
I'll say, huh?
What?
What?
Yeah, welcome to council. And also, I mean, I was encouraged to see the level of interest we had this time. Although I would have liked to see some women apply. Hello, anyone who's listening. Um, that's just a pet project of mine since I was like in middle school, but welcome. I'm not gonna hold that against you.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for those comments.
Um,
Pablo? Oh,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, thank you very much, folks. You're very welcoming. This is a much easier of experience than I thought it was going to be. A little stressed, but everyone's very welcoming. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. I think the whole fact that the city of Dexter is small and kind carries on to the council itself. So very happy to be here working with you guys. Thank you.
we look forward to working with you. Thank you. Okay, we have item P, which is proposed agenda items for future meetings. Is there anything anybody's thought of? Oh, do you want to add?
Oh, I was gonna, let you know, I'm just a student representative. I'm just a senior at Dexter, so just. so
You're
you know.
not
I'm sure you
just a
figured that out.
senior.
but-
And she got into the University of Michigan.
Great
Go
school to go
Thank
to.
you, yep.
Okay, I look forward to seeing everybody Saturday at 9. We'll see if we can come up with some snacks. Maybe not donuts, but we'll see what we come up with. And I will seek a motion for adjournment at 8 o'clock.
So moved.
Moved by Wa, second by Sanan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned. Have a great night and be safe and home, everybody.
Early.
I
Good night.
know.
And